live. Welcome to the Beastly Thought Show. We got Robbie Skull. We are ready to go. How the fuck you doing, Robbie?
Whoa, it's coming off faster. I'm doing fantastic.
You magnificent bastard, speak up.
Oh, is my mic a little quiet? How's the sound?
You sound good to me, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. How have you been?
I'm doing great. I am so excited about the news this week. I can't even, I'm actually, a lot of times we do the show, and I like doing the show because I love you guys. But the news, there's been weeks, man. There's just nothing to talk about as far as news goes. So, that's why we've introduced other topics. We've started bringing in our insane questions. This week, we'd like to do a little bit of Q&A. So if anybody's got any questions they'd like to ask Robbie or I, write them down in the comments below, and we'll address them later. But we got a lot of news today, and we're going to get to that right now. I've got a video playing in my background, and it's really distracted me. It's terrible, Robbie. It's terrible.
Turn that off.
So what have you been playing this week, Robbie?
First things first, I actually did play a little bit of Destiny this week. Jumped back into it, did some of the bounties that came out in preparation for House of Wolves, playing some GTA Online, having a lot of fun with that. And I've also been playing a little bit of PT. I actually introduced my friend Matt to that because he'd never played it, and kind of told him about the whole Silent Hills thing, and he was really blown away by it. But he was like really scared on the couch. He had to look away constantly. I'm like, come on, it's not that bad.
It's that bad. It's that bad.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah, I did not download that game before they took it off of PSN. Did you?
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't. I had watched. I think I did download it when it originally came out, but I watched a little bit of a Let's Play, and I was like, no, that's not for me. I'm too much of a pussy to play that game. So I deleted it because I needed space on my hard drive, and I never went back to it.
Well, now you're never going to be able to download it again, which really is unfortunate.
No,
okay.
I'm okay with that decision. It worked out okay in the end. So we got some big stuff happening this week. First of all, The Witcher is coming out this week. The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt.
Definitely. This has been such a long anticipated game. Absolutely one of the biggest games right now, like one of the biggest games of the year. To kick it off too, we actually have our first news story here that The Witcher 3 has already sold over 1 million copies in pre-orders. What do you think about that, Briar Rabbit?
That's crazy to me. The fact that they could sell 1 million pre-orders. Did you look at any of the pre-order bonuses on this?
No, I hadn't taken a look at them yet.
So I mean, there's some stuff in there. Like one of them, if you went to GameSpot, I think you got like a CD with the soundtrack on it. You got like a map, like a paper map that you could hang on the wall or something. Stuff like that, but nothing like crazy exciting. There's no like Dinklebot or Halo cat helmet or anything,
Yeah.
So the fact that they sold 1 million pre-orders for this thing, either A, means that this game's getting so well reviewed right out of the gate that they're selling these copies like because of these reviews, and people just want to make sure they get a copy, or B, people are desperate for a new game right now. Like desperate. I think it might be a combination of the two, but man, it's surprising. 1 million pre-orders. That's a lot of pre-orders.
It shows you that everybody is super excited about this game. I think we all the game looks stunning. It really does. Like, it's an amazing, huge open world RPG. They've said it's 20% bigger than Skyrim, which is incredible because that game is gigantic. That's just purely like how big the world is. They're saying it's about 200 hours long, but yeah, the game it just looks incredible, and it's getting 9 and 10 out of 10s like everywhere. Like, everybody is giving it rave reviews and saying this is the real deal. Could be a game of the year contender.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm always not cynical. I'm always careful of early reviews. I think that in video games, it works very similar to the way it works in movies, is that the earliest reviews tend to be the most positive because they're often the people who are most closely tied to the publishers who write those early reviews. So when you see a movie start getting reviewed, it almost doesn't matter what movie it is. The earliest reviews are going to be the highest, and then you're going to see that kind of tail off a little bit. So we'll have to see if it's averaging what, like a 94 on Metacritic right now.
Yeah, something insane like that. I mean,
Yeah.
people are loving it. So
Yeah, people are really loving it. I have heard some criticisms, like the control can be a little janky at times. The frame rate can get a little iffy. It doesn't look as good as the E3 demo I've heard, not at least not on the PlayStation 4. So we'll see. You know, the game is going to be out in just a few days. I think people are really excited for this. I think, you know, it's definitely time for a new big game, and I think it's smart when companies release these bigger games, you know, at different times than just in November. It doesn't, every AAA game doesn't have to come in November and like compete with every other AAA game. So I think it's actually really smart for CD Projekt Red is the publisher of this.
no, well, they're the developer.
Developer. I think it's smart for them to bring this out at the timing they did. You know, you get all summer to unpack this thing, you know, play to your heart's content. And then, you know, in September, October, November, when other AAA content comes out, you know, you'll be done with this game. And, you know, they're not competing with anything except for basically a DLC for Destiny this week, which is really smart, you know? Imagine if they had put it out last week, they would have done even better.
Absolutely, because you just look at, they don't have much competition, and this game already is showing that it's going to be hugely successful. Like the numbers are already showing that this game is going to do incredibly well, and I'm super excited. And I think definitely it's awesome to see this in May, because the next big game I'd say that's coming out is probably going to be Arkham City, coming out at the tail end of June. So we got about a month and a half to enjoy this game. And then, of course, E3 is going to roll around in a month, which is going to be really exciting. I think The Witcher 3 and House of Wolves are definitely going to take up a lot of time, and I'm so excited. Like, we have about a day left to go, and I couldn't be more excited. Like, I realize now how close it is, and I'm just so desperate to play it now. I cannot wait.
Did you pre-order it?
Yes, I actually did, because I feel like the way CD Projekt Red has been saying, like, they're giving you free content. They're basically saying, thank you for buying our game. We really appreciate all the amazing fan feedback we've gotten, and we want to give back to you. And I think they've won me over. They really have. They seem passionate about the game they've created and just treating their customers right. So I absolutely support this game, and I support developers. I pre-ordered it, and I cannot wait to play it.
Did you get the digital copy or the box copy?
I downloaded it digitally, so because the game is fully downloaded on my PS4 right now. So as soon as it hits 9 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm going to be playing it. Like, the moment that timer is up, I'll be able to start it up.
You know, I kind of like that preloading system. You know, so you don't have to go out, buy the disc at midnight, bring it home. Now with every game for the consoles, you got to install that disc, which can take a while. That's assuming you actually have room on your hard drive. So then you actually have to go in and, you know, delete stuff off your hard drive. That preloading system is pretty nice. And I recently got a second PS4 in my house, so that I have one up in the office where I do most of my gaming and make videos. But I also got one for down in the living room, so like I could play with the kids and we can watch Blu-rays on the big screen, like that kind of thing. So when I buy digital copies, I can load them on both PS4s. I don't have to, you know, drag my ass up and down the stairs with a disc.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that convenience factor of being able to even just download it ahead of time. So the game literally is ready to go. You don't have to wait. As soon as that timer is done and the game is released, you can start playing right away. And especially for a game like this, I want to play it the second it's out. Like, I can't wait any longer. So I'm so excited.
PS4 or Xbox One?
I went with the PS4 version, because obviously it's going to look a little crisper. It's probably going to run a little smoother, I'm assuming. And especially when that whole thing happened where the Xbox channel posted that PC gameplay, it kind of shows that, like, it made me kind of worried that the Xbox One version, they were afraid to show it off. And so that also led in my decision of getting the PS4 version.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
All right. The other big release this week is dear to my heart. It's House of Wolves for Destiny, the new DLC. We got a little bit of a teaser. Have you been playing any of the new content that came along with patch 1.2 this week?
Yeah, because there's the new bounties that Petra has in the tower. I did the first one. I didn't do any of the other ones. I was kind of exploring around. I hope to get into that like today or tomorrow or something. But yeah, I haven't dove into it a ton yet.
I ran the first 4, and they're pretty fun. You know, it's like you need to be a level 30 at least. I think you need a fire team, or at least have some randoms kind of join in the fight with you, because it's a pretty intense firefight. It comes in multiple waves. What you see is kind of a skiff fly in, drop off a few waves of enemies. They give you this new Scorch Cannon, which is really fun to use. It reminds me of when they released, right before they released the Dark Below, they kind of seeded the moon and the Cosmodrome with sword bearers, so you could get a little practice in with the sword. And the Scorch Cannon we know is going to be in Prison of Elders, so it's nice to get a little practice with the Scorch Cannon. It's a very fun weapon to use. And I think it's really cool that this is for free too. This is for everybody. You don't have to have Dark Below. You don't have to have House of Wolves. This is just something they added to Destiny for everybody. And I think that's really awesome. And it's a different kind of bounty than what we've seen in the past. It's not just something that you grind. Well, I'm not going to say you don't grind these, because there are definitely incentives to grind these. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like it's just going through the motions. Once you're there, once you're in that event, you can die. It's not like a normal bounty where you're just going to breeze through it. You can do it practically blindfolded. These are high-level enemies. They go invisible, and they're actually nearly invisible as opposed to most of the enemies in Destiny right now. They have big weapons. They come on strong, and it's a lot of fun. It's reminding me of the days of the Loot Cave. Remember that, Robbie, when we all just used to kind of gather in that one area in the Cosmodrome, and you'd see tons of Guardians in there just kind of shooting at the Loot Cave, and it felt like this kind of live place that I think we've never seen really in Destiny since that time.
Absolutely.
So right now, it's really exciting because you get to these events for these bounties, and you just see a ton of people around, either waiting for them or just coming in, and you're fighting with all these people. It's really cool. It feels like much more a living world when this kind of stuff is happening.
Especially because it almost seems like there's a big rejuvenation of Destiny. People are really getting excited about it again, that House of Wolves is coming out, because it's been such a long time since the last content came out for Destiny. Dark Below was back in December. That's been almost 6 months. That's half a year to wait for the next expansion. So it's definitely been a long wait for a lot of people. And I think people like myself, I'm ready to jump back into Destiny. I haven't played it in at least a month or two, actively. And finally, there's a reason to jump back in. New missions, new strikes. Prison of Elders looks amazing.
Prison of Elders does look amazing. I can't wait to do that. I definitely want to do a fire team of you, me, and Beastly. Get into there and just go ham in there, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to require a lot of coordination, a lot of thinking to get through that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be almost a new experience, like when the raid first came out, Vault of Glass, the first time. We were kind of just figuring out the ins and outs.
What a shit show that was.
What was that?
What a shit show that was. Our first raid experience. You remember that? All of this was you, me, Not Too Nerdy, was 9 to 5 Gamers was in there.
Beastly was there, I think.
Beastly was there too. I don't remember him being there. But yeah,
I think he was.
We were terrible. We had no idea what was going on. We're trying to hide behind a rock, We're just blasted into oblivion. Oh, man.
It was pretty embarrassing.
Hour after hour. Yeah. That was fun though.
So do you think Prison of Elders will be that same kind of nuanced experience, or we kind of know what's going to happen going in? Because it does seem like it's more straightforward, more wave-based. So
okay, so I've been thinking about this. So we're not getting a raid this time, right? We're getting this Prison of Elders kind of instead. But I think the biggest difference between a raid and the Prison of Elders is going to be that it is a wave-based thing, and you're going to kind of fight in these arenas, but it's not going to be as predictable as a raid. Once you run a raid, let's say for your 4th or 5th time, you almost go into automatic pilot mode. You know what I'm saying? Where all the mechanics, the steps that you have to accomplish. Which person on your fire team is going to accomplish, which of the tasks, whether it be in Vault of Glass or in Crota's End. But with this, the tasks are going to be changing, and the modifiers are going to be changing. So you might go in there 1 week, and you've got to fight, let's say the Hive and Arcburn is on, and you also have to capture these points. And then the next week, you may still have to go in and fight the Hive, but maybe Solar Burn is on, or maybe you have that shield that never recharges. You get 3 times the amount of shield you normally do, but it never recharges. And you have to kill a VIP instead of having to capture the points. And you gotta kind of progress through these, you got to pick a loadout that works for each week. You got to pick the weapons that work for each week, and you only have 3 members, so you can't just carry somebody through it like you could in Vault of Glass or Crota's End. There's a lot of times where, Beastly's first time through Crota's End, he just hopped in while we were fighting Crota and got a raid weapon, and like every enemy in the every enemy's health bar was a question mark. He couldn't even do any damage.
Oh wow!
So, like that's not going to happen in Prison of Elders. You're gonna have to be a contributing member to your fire team if you're going to succeed.
Definitely.
And I think that's really exciting. And then we got Trials of Osiris.
I don't know much about that. You can.
Okay, so Trials of Osiris is a 3 versus 3 match. It's a 3 versus 3 PvP mode where you get rewards based on how many wins you can string together. So you get a card, you get basically a scorecard, and then you enter the Trials of Osiris with your team, which they're not going to match make your team. You have to bring your own team with you. But then you play against other teams, and if you lose 3 times, you're out. You have to buy a new passage token to get back in, or a new passage card to get back in. For every win you get, your rewards get a little bit better and a little bit better, up to 9 wins. If you can manage 9 wins before you get 3 losses, then the rewards are going to be like spectacular. So the coolest thing about this too is it's 3 versus 3 and there's no respawns. The only way, once you die, you're dead unless a teammate comes over and revives you. So the strategy here is going to be really intense. It's only going to take place on the weekends. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun.
It looks incredibly intense too. I mean, that's going to be such a nerve-wracking event. You gotta be on point. Like, there's going to be so many competitive people. It's going to be a really fun event. Yeah, I've kind of watched some gameplay of it. It looks like a really cool new thing, and I might just jump into that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool and really fun. And what I'm excited about with House of Wolves is that there's 2 brand new ways to play Destiny. We didn't get a new raid. So we didn't get more of the same, which is a little bit disappointing because that 6-man raid thing, or that 6-man raid experience, is not going to continue forward in this DLC. A lot of people are sick of Crota's End and Vault of Glass. So your 6-man raid group, you may not see a whole lot of them for a while.
Yeah.
But we did get brand new content, or we are getting brand new content in brand new game modes, new ways to play in the sandbox of Destiny. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
And I love how Bungie is so committed to the community. Like, they take feedback so well and kind of improve their game over time. Like, they've really taken the community and done everything they can to improve the game. And I think it really shows. And I'm excited to see what new stuff awaits us in this Combat expansion. That sounds like it could be like a $40 expansion that could maybe even be on the disc. It sounds absolutely massive. And maybe they have some huge surprises for that too.
Yeah. I just read the chat, and I saw people talking about Beastly. I forgot to mention at the opening of the show that Beastly wanted to be here tonight. He had a computer issue, so he just couldn't hop on and do a chat with us. So he's okay. He's doing fine. He just computer bullshit. What can you say? Yeah. So he should be back next week. He's actually ordering a brand new computer. He told us
Windows 8 bullshit, probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
Wouldn't surprise me either.
All right, so is that it for House of Wolves? Do you want to talk about anything about House of Wolves, or are we pretty much done? It comes out Tuesday. I am pumped. I am so psyched that they gave us update 1.2 with a little bit of fun content. I think it's cool that they brought back the Queen's Wrath bounties. That's fun. We haven't seen those since, was it September?
It's something like that. Yeah, it was very early in the game's life cycle, definitely.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's really cool. But we got news, and I want to talk about it because the first story has me getting a little bit of a chub here.
Oh, pull back a little bit. Okay.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, for sure. So this, I'm just going to get right into it, and then I'll kind of explain how I feel about it. So we got some more news this week about Fallout 4. Obviously, Bethesda's having a conference for the first time ever at this E3. Everybody is expecting them to announce Fallout 4. This pretty much puts the nail in the coffin. So what happened is there was a leaked, I think, LinkedIn account of the 3D like artist who worked on cinematic trailers in the past for games like Fallout 4 and Forza Horizon and Titanfall and stuff like that. So basically his LinkedIn profile leaked, and then above all that, it showed his work on a Fallout 4 cinematic trailer, which was later pulled. And you can still click on the article, you can still kind of look at it, but this is by far the biggest evidence we got. This basically confirms the game. But there's no doubt in my mind that Fallout 4 is real and it's going to be announced at E3. Like, this is all we need to confirm it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that trailer. I mean, we know a little bit about this game, or we think we know that it's going to be set up in Boston. We think it's going to come out this year. Other than that, we don't know a whole lot about it, right?
Current gen only, please. Oh my god, if it's held back by last gen. No last gen. Like, that should not happen for a game like that. So, yeah.
Right. I hope you're right.
I think no matter what Fallout 4 turns out to be, it's going to be incredibly exciting. I can't wait to see it. We have obviously an idea of in our mind what it's going to look like. Like, it's going to be an enhanced Fallout 3. Like, obviously it's going to be a huge open world. You know, you're hunting all kinds of mutants and stuff like that and surviving in the wasteland. But maybe they'll surprise us and introduce some cool new things.
Yeah, it's hard to speculate much about it because they've been closed-lipped. But it's cool that Guillermo del Toro's studio is working on the trailer, because the trailer. Do you remember the trailer for Fallout 3? Like, kind of panning away from the radio that was playing, like kind of a creepy song. I can't remember the song it was playing, and you kind of pan out into the bus, and then you see that it's like this wasteland, like a broken world. It was so cool.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah.
So if they could pull off something like that again, that'd be fun. That was a cool trailer. And got me to pre-order the game. I still have my Fallout 3 lunchbox and Pip-Boy.
Oh, nice.
Wow. So for the next news, Nintendo says no NX smartphone or quality of life announcements at E3. So it's going to be all about the games from Nintendo.
Briar, you were right, though, because I remember you said there will be no NX at E3. You were right on the money with that.
Too early, right? They can't talk about it. It's not going to be out this year. Maybe we'll start hearing about it early next year, but more than likely we'll hear mostly about it next year at E3.
Especially because the sooner they mention this too, the sooner people are going to kind of start to drift away from the Wii U, because people are already kind of, like, we're all kind of wondering how long does this console keep going for? Like, when do they start getting on with the new generation? And it seems like next year they're really going to have a heavy focus on this NX, and we all kind of think it's going to come out next fall, which I definitely could see happening. So
yeah, I can see that too, but they can't announce that thing too early, because you're right. The sales of the Wii U will drop even faster than they already have. Like, they're just not going to sell anything for that.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. The Wii U, I think, might have been an ill-advised console. It seems too limited by the gimmick of that gamepad.
Yeah, and it just drives the cost up so much too, because that gamepad is literally, like, I think half of the price of the console right there. Like, if you take that out, it's a pretty affordable system. It'd be like $150 or something like that.
They got real issues too. Like, you can't buy that gamepad separately. So, like, if yours breaks, what do you do?
Yeah, that's true. I actually didn't think about that. Wow. I don't know.
All right, here's something I don't know about. What's this Ark Survival Evolved?
This is a new game that was announced earlier this year. I think it's being made by like a small team of like 20 people. It's an open world like dinosaur survival game. It looks really, really cool watching the trailer. Coming out for PS4, Xbox One, PC, so no last gen as most games these days. Yeah, it looks super cool. It was kind of early gameplay, like the game was just announced, but I'm very excited about it. It looks like a cool game.
So it's coming to Steam first, then PlayStation 4 and Xbox later. And it's basically, it looks like DayZ with dinosaurs instead of zombies, maybe?
Yeah, that's a really good way to summarize it. Yeah, it's just an open world sort of survival game with dinosaurs, pretty much. It could be cool.
So here's what they have to fix, right? If they're doing this, if they're doing DayZ with a different gimmick, they need to make it more playable than DayZ, right? They need to get rid of all, like, the problem with DayZ is it's just a buggy nightmare. Like, was it designed, like, was the code written by 4-year-olds? What's going on over there? And they have to make the moment-to-moment hooks of the action faster. That's my biggest problem. That's my second biggest problem with DayZ is that there's too much time where I'm just doing nothing. Just like running from town to town or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I'm looking at it now, and it does look pretty cool. The graphics look really good too.
Yeah, I was actually surprised the visuals were. Yeah. So it could be good. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how it turns out.
All right. Yeah, that looks cool. I'm looking at it now. I'm watching the trailer for it. It looks pretty cool. I could get into that. All right. Another Assassin's Creed game, Syndicate, set in Victorian London during 1868.
You couldn't sound more excited, Briar. Wow. You couldn't sound more excited if you tried.
What's the last Assassin's Creed game you played?
Unity.
You did play Unity? Did you like it?
I pre-ordered it and played it from day one. Like, here's what I'm going to say about Unity. Obviously, it had a lot of problems. Like, obviously, the frame rate was super bad at times. Like, it was really buggy, but the game itself was really fun. Like, I loved the game, and playing it in co-op, too, it was a blast. Like, it was so much fun assassinating with friends. Like, it was awesome. And as long as Syndicate comes out like less broken than that, hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. Like, they even came out when they announced this game, they were very humble about it and say, look, we know Unity wasn't the best received. Like, they were pretty humble and open about it. And so I feel like they really want to make this game work, and I'm pretty excited about it. Like, I still really enjoy Assassin's Creed, so we'll see. What
I'm curious about is how many teams do you think they have making Assassin's Creed games right now?
32, exactly.
32?
Yeah, I think that's a good estimate.
Because Unity and Black Flag were definitely two different teams.
Yeah, they definitely were. Well, right? they're literally like 10 different studios working on each game. Like, there's a lot of people.
Is that what it is? So they just have like multiple studios working on bits and pieces? Maybe that's why they feel so disjointed now.
Especially because how else do you get like such a huge game like Assassin's Creed that's like 60, 70 hours out every single year? They got to have multiple teams to do that and a lot of people behind it. So
yeah, maybe they need to take a break on Assassin's Creed.
That's definitely a question that's always in people's mind. But what do you think of the setting? Because I think London looks amazing in this game, though. I can say that.
I just looked at the guy with a top hat, and that got me very excited.
You didn't see like the city itself or anything, or
yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It's hard to tell from screenshots because they always pick the best stuff. You never really get a feel for what a game's going to look like from screenshots.
Well, there is the gameplay video. You didn't watch that?
I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out. I like Assassin's Creed as a game, but I don't know. They've kind of lost me. Even Black Flag, I enjoyed the game in general, but it didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. Like, they kind of just abandoned like the older lore, of Assassin's Creed, which I was kind of into, but they did so many so quickly. It's like, I don't have time to play an Assassin's Creed game every year. So how do you keep up on that lore, and how do you differentiate each game from each other? Black Flag was fun. Unity didn't interest me really as a package, and then I just heard so much bad press about the shape that game launched in that I just never went back.
Poor shape. It really was. Yeah. But the game was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. So,
all right. Are you going to pick up this one?
I think so. And the other thing to touch on too, this is kind of a big deal. It's single player only. There's no multiplayer. There's no co-op, which bums me out because I love the co-op. I didn't care for the regular 8-on-8 multiplayer, whatever it was, like the free-for-all kind of thing. I love the co-op. I wish that was back, but unfortunately it's not. But I'll definitely be picking this game up because I'm still interested in Assassin's Creed, and this game does look like a lot of fun to me. So,
all right.
We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know about me. Maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. So we have an unannounced AAA Ubisoft game and The Division coming by spring 2016.
Whew! Big news right there. An unannounced AAA game? That hasn't been announced. It's coming early next year. That's not that far away.
No. So Ubisoft does a press conference at E3. So we'll probably find out what that game is going to be at E3.
I think they have even confirmed that it's going to be there. And that was one of my E3 predictions, too, is that they're going to do another sort of Watch Dogs or Division caliber announcement. They have something big to announce again and kind of surprise everybody. And I think that's definitely going to be what that is.
I can't believe it's been a year since we saw Division.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. It was 2013. Like
Was
it's
it
been
2013?
Yeah, E3 2013 was when it was announced.
Wow. That game, I can't wait for it. I'm okay with them taking a little bit more time. It was supposed to come out 2015. It got delayed again
Yeah.
to 2016, but that's okay. Like, I want that game to be done. You know,
Especially
like,
now, it's not exactly shocking, is it? Because obviously the fact that just about every game seems to get delayed nowadays, and this is kind of a good thing, honestly, because it'll be better in the end.
yeah, that's it. It's disappointing in the short term to like not get a game earlier, but in the long term, if you end up with a better product, then you've made it out overall. In the Division, there's so many moving parts to what they've shown so far. Like the multiplayer, the role playing, the world just looks incredibly detailed. Playing that with your friends is going to be a ton of fun. Looks like you're going to be able to play solo as well. Like that game looks. I mean, I'm really excited for it. It's definitely the game I'm most anticipating at this point.
Me too.
And
I can't wait.
I don't know what this AAA unannounced game is going to be, but I don't know. We'll see. What else we got, Robbie?
Our next story is the Prey 2 developer. So obviously Prey 2 was canceled a little while ago. Human Head Studios, they are working on a brand new game, and it's going to be announced at E3. Cool. New games are exciting. So,
yeah, new games are great.
Definitely. And that's a really great developer. So we'll see what they're doing.
What else have they made?
I really don't know besides Prey, and I think they made like a Wolfenstein game, I think. Like they've made some good games. They're a good developer that no one really knows about. So whatever they're working on will probably be pretty cool.
All right, I just found their website. They made Prey 2. They made the original Prey?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Dead Man's Hand, Rune. I think Rune was cool. Blair Witch Volume 2, The Legend of Coffin Rock.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Jeez.
All right, so we already talked about The Witcher. Rainbow Six Siege coming in October. This game looks cool, Robbie.
It really does, but this kind of, again, shows that you don't need every single game to come out in the fall, like that October-November period. I would like a little more if we could space them out. Like, I love how Witcher 3 is about to come out and Destiny House of Wolves, and obviously Batman is coming out right after E3, but still, like, every single game is pushed to the fall, it seems, or they've been delayed past that. And I think they need to just space these games out better. Like, I really would like to see them more, because especially during the summertime, usually there's just not much to play.
You think Rainbow Six has what it takes to be like a big seller in that time period? It's not November, but October is generally pretty packed with big games.
Definitely. I don't know how. I honestly am kind of concerned about how well this game is going to sell. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Like Rainbow Six is an awesome franchise. They're really great games, and it looks amazing. Like I'm super excited to play the beta whenever that comes out. I have a feeling though it's not going to sell well. Like as good as it is, it's just the name of that game and what it is, a tactical shooter. Like those don't usually do that well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm concerned about it. Definitely.
It's got some cool hooks, like being able to kind of fortify your position, and then come in like guns blazing. Using explosives to get inside the building, trying to save hostages.
Yeah, blow through like different walls, or like if the hostage is below you, you can put like C4 on the floor and blow that down and use like kind of the wood as cover and stuff. Like it's really cool how they do that, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I wonder if the game's going to actually be what they're promising,
or if there will be another graphical downgrade too.
Yeah, that happens a lot these days.
It seems like it.
All right, so Ubisoft says all future titles will be current gen only. No more games for PS3 and 360, except for, I think, one of the dancing games. I can't remember which one.
Just Dance. But,
Just Dance,
oh my God, thank you. Don't let last gen hold back all these games. I am so happy to hear this. What do you think, Briar?
This is good news for me. I'm happy about this. It's time. I mean, the PS4 and the Xbox One are both selling very, very well. So I think it's going to make more and more financial sense for these companies as they go on to abandon the 360 and the PS3. People with the PS3 and 360 are definitely going to be disappointed to hear this news because they're not going to get the newest games, directly to their console, and they're going to have to wait and probably save some money up to get the PS4 or the Xbox One. But it does mean that the average game is going to be able to take more advantage of the current consoles than they could have if they were being cross-developed for the 360 and the Xbox One or the PS3.
It doesn't have to be held back by those old systems. Yeah, like they can just do more. It'll just be a better game as a whole, which is great.
Yeah, and we just saw that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I know what everybody's going to say. Oh, but there's so many PS3 and 360s out there. There's 160 million. That's over the last 10 years. That's not right now. Like, there's probably a lot less than that. That's been over the past 10 years how much they've sold. And the other thing is, too, you look at a lot of these cross-gen titles, they actually sell like twice as much, if not more, on the new consoles. Like Destiny, Far Cry 4, other examples. Like, most of these games are selling way better on the new consoles, even though there's less of them out there. So it just shows that interest in the old consoles, like, people are just kind of starting to drop them, and the old generation is just kind of getting long in the tooth.
It'd be interesting to see sales data for this coming years, like Call of Duty or any cross-platform game, maybe like a Madden or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how many of the 360 sells compared to the Xbox One, how many of the PS3 sells compared to the PS4. Like, those sales numbers would be pretty interesting to see.
I have a feeling that it's actually going to be like very few in the last gen consoles, and almost all of your sales are going to come from the new generation. It's time. Like, it's really starting to flip over now to the new generation, and I think that's the way it's going. So
yeah, I would agree. And like you said before, that's good. It's good for games. It's good for gamers. It's definitely going to leave some people behind, but these consoles are going to get cheaper, and I bet they get cheaper pretty soon.
Well, especially when the new consoles are selling so well and a lot of people are on this new generation. It's really frustrating, like, being somebody who's owned a PS4 since day one and an Xbox One for the past 6 months now. Yeah. I get really frustrated seeing these games kind of be held back by last gen, because I'm like, they could just be better experiences. Like, you can just do more when you're not held back by a 10-year-old hardware. So I'm very excited.
With Destiny, they upgraded how big our vaults were in Destiny. But they said they had to limit it based on how much memory the old consoles had. Yeah. Which is disappointing.
Disappointing for them, definitely. Yeah.
Disappointing for me because my vault is full. And House of Wolves is coming. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the news. Do you want to ask the viewers for some questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have
any viewer questions today? Where is Beastly? I believe he is playing Last of Us.
Yeah, for sure. Something like that.
So, stream, anybody's got any questions? Let's hear it. I did prepare some silly questions, but Robbie, I don't think I can ask them because they kind of tied into Beastly's questions as well, and I kind of want to save them for when Beastly is here as well. So I think we're going to have to delay that.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not going to be the same because if I ask you the questions, they're not going to make sense without Beastly here.
Do you have like host specific questions for just me? Like, do you have any of those? You can ask me those.
I can't. They got to both happen at the same time. That's the way the questions were designed. When I wrote the questions down, I didn't know Beastly wasn't going to be here.
Yeah, me neither. So that's definitely fair, though. I think that's a really nice thing to do. And yeah, okay.
Oh, Jesus. We didn't even talk about PlayStation being down today or this weekend. PlayStation Network being down again.
That's true. It seems to be happening more and more, too. Like, even Xbox Live is constantly having friends list issues. Like, I don't know how much you play on the Xbox One, Briar, but I'm on there pretty consistently, and the friends list is like 50% of the time down. It's insane. Like, how often the network just bugs out. Like, I don't know what's going on over there, whether it's a Microsoft issue or a Sony issue or what's going on, but they need to get their act together because this is ridiculous.
I do. We were talking about this a little bit before, and I said that, I'd blame Sony up to a point for not defending their network better against this type of attack, but it seems that it's Lizard Squad again. At least they're taking credit for it. And they're saying that they are, again, attacking PSN. And it's been down for me for most of the weekend, which is disappointing because we got this new content in Destiny that I'm not playing because I can't log in to Destiny. And that sucks. And
yeah, that's frustrating.
And we talked about this a lot last Christmas when they pulled the same bullshit. And I was pissed. I was really pissed during Christmas, and I gotta say my pistitude has not gone down.
Your pistitude scale is just rising up and up and up and up.
It's rising and rising.
Yeah, but speaking of like PSN, just kind of considering how, because obviously on the PS3 it was not very good. Like I have to admit, PSN on PS3 was very rough. Like
Yeah.
as someone who was not on 360 last gen, was exclusively like a PlayStation guy, it was so frustrating to see the network down so often. Like it was a mess on PS3.
Period. It was down for a month.
Yeah, it was down for like a month and a half during 2011, and that was a really, really rough time.
Yeah. And now they're charging for it. They owe a little bit more to their users.
But the thing is, that is the free games with like PlayStation Plus, but does that still account for the network? Like, should they really take that money and improve it? Probably, but
I think so. I mean, that's why I pay for it. The free games don't really interest me that much normally. I mean, probably once out of every 3 months, I'll pick one of those up.
Yeah.
But what I pay for and what I expect is a good network experience. And that's what I get from Microsoft.
Especially when it's down all the time as much as it is. And the funny thing is, too, I don't understand why Xbox Live has so many issues on Xbox One, because it seems like it's worse this generation, too.
It is worse this generation. Xbox 360's Xbox Live, the thing was rock solid.
It was great, and now it's just kind of gone downhill. Like the party chat, too, is a mess. Like
party chat is a mess. Just getting a party together is a mess.
Briar, I can't tell you how many times in like the past couple weeks I like just stopped playing altogether because I was trying to connect with my friends on GTA and get in a party chat. Party chat disconnects so often. Like it's so hard to keep it stable for like half an hour at a time without it disconnecting, or 15 minutes. Like it constantly disconnects. We get disconnected from each other. I've just about had it. Like I don't understand what happened over there or who at Microsoft made this party chat, but you really should have done a better job. Like it is really, really rough. It's so frustrating.
You had one job.
Yeah, I don't know where they went wrong, but it needs a lot of work. That system.
It really does. It might just be they need to throw money at the problem, just more servers. You know.
Yeah.
It may be as simple as that, and they just don't want to do it. Especially Sony, who's having so much financial difficulties in other areas of their business that throwing money at servers right now is just hard for them to do.
Yeah, and I think with the Xbox One too, because they just had the new update, the May update, which actually introduces dedicated servers for party chat. So hopefully, like this is just a couple days ago, so hopefully it'll be a lot more stable now. But for the past year and a half, like it's been terrible. Like, I don't even understand how people can deal with it. It's abysmal. It's really bad. So,
all right, so we got some questions here. I'm gonna read through them. We got quite a few from J. Diaz, and we'll probably read more than one from you.
Cool. All right.
His first question is, how much cheaper do you need them to be? Talking about the consoles. I paid $500 for the Xbox, and now it's only $349. Jay, I think $300 would be a nice price point for that Xbox One. I think that would go the same for the PS3 or the PS4.
Do you think they would do that? Like maybe at E3 they'd announce another price drop? Because I think it seems kind of early. Like they just dropped it. Do you think they'd do it again?
I don't know. It won't be long till we start seeing the slim versions of these consoles. Well, yeah. I don't know. How much smaller can that PS4 get? Smaller than the PS3.
The Xbox One Slim is definitely coming soon, though.
It's gotta be. That thing is a monster. I don't know. So I think especially Microsoft, I think they know what their position is right now, and they could use all the advantages they can get. A slimmer version that's a little cheaper to manufacture that costs $300. I could see that happening. Maybe not this year, but I could see it early next year.
Definitely, like at the very least, they talk about it this year, if not next year, or something like that. Definitely, they'd mention it at least, like saying it's coming or something like that. So, another quick thing, hey, you guys in the chat, another thing you can do is you should let us know, kind of let your feedback in the comments section. what games are you going to be playing this week? Because obviously, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and House of Wolves are both coming out this week. Huge, huge releases. I want to know what you guys are playing this week. Are you going to be playing Witcher 3? Are you going to be playing House of Wolves? Are you going to be playing both? Let me know in the comments, and let me know how you plan to sort of switch between them. I'm really interested to see what you guys are going to be playing. So
I would like to see that too. Jay Diaz asks, do you guys think Nintendo will show a Metroid game?
Yes, I'm sure they will.
I think they will.
Whether it's a 3DS Metroid or a Wii U, probably a 3DS one. But
I hope it's 3DS. I'd rather play a 3DS 2D Metroid game, like Super Metroid 3. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be a good call.
That'd be awesome. It could go either way, but I would rather see a DS version. Any chance of House of Wolves DLC messes up our Destiny saves? I don't know. I would think no. I guess there's always a chance of that, right? There's always a chance that any DLC could mess you up. That stuff is all saved server side. I'm sure that Bungie has gone through extensive testing on the House of Wolves DLC to make sure that kind of shenanigan does not happen. But there's always a chance of that kind of thing. And it's a fairly scary chance.
Especially because you look at a lot of this Q&A testing they do at Bungie, like until they have it out in the public and they have all these people kind of fluctuating the servers at once, you don't know how it's going to perform once it's out in the wild. So we'll see.
False Prophet asks, will you ever play with some of your subscribers? Robbie, you going to start playing with your subscribers or what? Come on, man.
Well, we were actually just talking about this before the show, like doing a BC Thoughts Twitch account and starting to play with more of you guys. I would absolutely love to meet some of you and play online with you. I think you guys are absolutely awesome. Like the support has been absolutely incredible the past couple of weeks. You guys have been just leaving the most positive comments and enjoying the show, and I really can't thank you guys enough. Like it means a lot to me and Briar and Beastly. We all appreciate it every single week, so thank you very much. Like we'd love to play with you sometime, and we're really humbled by your incredible support. So thank you.
I think Prison of Elders will be a good position for that. I also think that now that the Crucible in Destiny is going to give better rewards, I think it'll be a great time for that. But I think what we need to do is put more of an emphasis on playing with you guys, and I will start thinking about this in real ways, I think. What do you think, Robbie?
Especially with House of Wolves, definitely. I definitely plan on playing with some of you guys, absolutely. Even though, God, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull myself away from Witcher 3. Hopefully I will be able to play with everybody. I'll do my best, but yeah, I'm super excited.
All right, Mac678 says, how do you feel about the Ether chest being dipped multiple times? Should it be patched, and when might it be patched? So what's happening here is after the Queen's Wrath bounties, you know about the chest that opens up, right? And you got a minute.
I've heard about the exploit
seconds.
too. Yeah, I've heard about all this.
So I have definitely used this exploit. What you do is you try and open that chest, then get the hell out of the area you're in until like the next area's little text comes at the bottom of the screen. Immediately turn around your Sparrow and go directly back to that chest and open it again for double loot. And maybe even triple loot if you're fast enough and if you're close enough to the exit. I don't think it will be patched because this is something that has actually been going on for a very long time in Destiny. It just wasn't that well known because using this to exploit really kind of random chests just for like material farming, it wasn't really that efficient of a way to do material farming. So it just didn't matter. Maybe now that these chests are worth much more, it will get patched, but I can't see it as a high priority.
I don't really know whether Bungie will patch this or not. I think regardless of that, people are always going to want to find a way to sort of grind it out and find the best way to keep dipping back into the candy jar, I guess, or the cookie jar or whatever. Just keep doing it over and over again to get all the rewards they can, because especially in a game like Destiny where everybody's trying to get the best loot, everybody's trying to get all these different engrams, and you just keep grinding and grinding. That's why the loot cave back in like October when the game first came out was so popular, because everybody just wants to get that loot. They want to level up. They want to get all the cool new stuff. And absolutely everything that comes out, there's going to be a way that people are going to find to manipulate and sort of keep going back into it, I think.
Max678 has another question. Do you think House of Wolves DLC might have a raid in progress that might just get dropped in the summer.
As like a free update or with another expansion, do you think?
Well, we know that there's going to be the Taken King, the Comet expansion in September. We expect it in September anyway.
Yeah.
Which will probably have a raid. We're almost positive that's going to have a raid. But I think more what he's referring to is that a House of Wolves raid that just gets delayed till like the middle of summer.
Yeah, and like, will it be patched in or will they charge you for it separately? Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I think there will be another raid definitely with the expansion. I have a feeling there's not going to be a raid outside of that, like before that, in between that period. So I don't think so.
I honestly think that there was originally going to be a raid planned for House of Wolves. Like there was a raid in development for House of Wolves that they saw the feedback on the Dark Below. The raid was going to be around that size. They decided they needed more time to cook this sucker, and they have now moved it to be the raid that is in the Taken King. I don't think we're going to get a free one in the summertime. I think they're just going to release the raid they were working on for House of Wolves in the Taken King or Comet, which I think is a little bit sad because that may mean that whatever the raid was for Comet is now getting pushed back as well. But it may, I kind of think that they just need more time to cook these things up. You know, we saw that with Dark Below. I think Crota's End raid is just not nearly as impressive as the Vault of Glass. They just need more time to make these epic encounters.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think that's definitely going to be the case. I think whatever raid they were planning will definitely be in the Taken King expansion, because there has been that controversy with this game that obviously there's DLC locked on the disc. Like these expansions are already on the disc and you're basically paying to unlock them, even though they're already there. And we don't really know whether that's the case or not. Like it's never been confirmed. It's never been really talked about. I wouldn't be honestly surprised if that raid does come out with
there was
Comet.
Definitely geometry on the original Destiny disc that was locked off, and then that was used for especially the Dark Below. But even there was like the Terminus. There's an area above Venus, like that big, huge Vex structure. That's going to currently get used. That structure is going to get used in this House of Wolves DLC. But in that last update, that was 6 gigabytes, I think 1.1.2, they completely redid that structure. So I think that argument, if it was true, it was true with Dark Below, but it's not true anymore with House of Wolves.
Definitely. I think so.
All right. Max678, again, how do you think PvP in Destiny should be improved? What game types should be introduced to PvP? And should supers be limited in an MLG setting?
That's a lot.
I'll tell you what. Here's how they need to improve PvP. Custom matchmaking and private lobbies.
Yes.
To be able to set up a private lobby for me and my friends, and we should be able to play Destiny PvP any way we want. This was one of the most fun ways to play Halo, and frankly, it was shocking to me that it was not included in Destiny. I think Bungie knows this, and I think it will come. I just don't know when.
Yeah, definitely. And you definitely took the words right out of my mouth, Briar. I was thinking the same thing, but I think the other thing they could improve on is the netcode in Destiny has always been kind of not quite there. Like it's always been like, you know, when you shoot somebody with a shotgun and they have enough time to shoot you back and you both get a kill, like that would never happen in most games. Like they really need to improve the netcode so stuff like that doesn't happen.
I would say it could use some work.
Yeah.
That's true. Should supers be limited in an MLG setting?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think supers are part of the fun of Destiny, and if they limited them in MLG, it would make it less interesting to watch MLG.
Definitely.
The MLG, I think, has made a mistake in the past that they cater the game to the players as opposed to the viewers. I think Black Ops 2 is a perfect example. When they were playing Black Ops 2, they allowed kill streaks. And the strategy is saving those kill streaks over multiple rounds and releasing them at the perfect time was a really fun metagame to watch as a viewer. in Call of Duty Ghosts, they just pulled out kill streaks. MLG wasn't using them anymore, and it got a lot less fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I think that there should be some limitations to what they're allowed to use in like a competitive multiplayer setting like MLG for Destiny, but I think they should keep supers in.
Absolutely.
Sonic Halo fan 215. It took me a second to read that. If you could take any exotic from the firing range, which one would it be? So I can't tell. Is he talking about Call of Duty or is he talking about Destiny?
Firing range, that probably is in reference to Advanced Warfare, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
It would be something made out of solid gold.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't know. Actually, could we repeat the question?
If you could take any exotic from the game to a firing range. Oh, okay, I read it wrong.
Oh, like a real life firing range.
Yeah, okay, so he's talking about Destiny. Any exotic from the game Destiny to a firing range. This is easy.
Galahorn?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gotta be Galahorn.
It's Galahorn. Absolutely. If it had to be like a primary weapon, it would probably be the Vex Mythoclast.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Although some of these House of Wolves exotics look pretty fucking fun too.
Yeah.
Max 678 is back again. Do you think they will introduce more planets in Comet expansion?
I think so. I think there will be a couple new planets.
I don't think so. I think we're going to get a new moon, and Mercury is going to get expanded on.
Okay. Yeah, because Mercury's not a part of the the current storyline. You can't actually go there. You can go there as a Crucible map. I think as far as just the campaign goes, I think there will be a new planet or two.
Yeah, which planets?
I think Mercury, definitely. You were right about that. And possibly Saturn, I feel like, maybe.
That'd be cool.
Might be. Yeah.
We're definitely going to see Phobos, the moon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
We might actually see that sooner. What else? Max 678, let's do it again. Should the current content flow over to Destiny 2, or should we have to switch from game to game? Getting a lot of Destiny questions. Hope you're getting used to this, Robbie.
Jeez, yeah, I was not ready for this.
Yeah.
So in terms of content, does he mean like your characters being transferred over? Because I'm pretty sure that's confirmed that you'll be able to do that in Destiny 2.
You will definitely be able to. Well, they said this a long time ago. So to be honest with you, that may be changing. They've said a lot of things that have changed. But yeah, we think that you're going to be able to take your character from game to game. But what if you want to go back to the Cosmodrome in Destiny 2? Do you think you'll have to swap out the disc, or do you think you'll just be able to go there?
I don't know. I guess it'll be there. I really don't know though.
I don't know either. I hope that you'll just be able to go there. But the install is going to be huge.
I don't want to switch between games. That does seem kind of ridiculous. I think it would all probably be in Destiny 2. They want to keep that social hub there, so.
Yeah, but the only thing about it is that the install is going to be gigantic. To have all of those, to have all 4 of the current places, plus let's say 4 new places, that's like going to be huge. And let's imagine that Destiny 2 is only available on next generation consoles or current generation consoles. And the textures could go higher res, which means bigger files.
Yeah, Briar, it'll be very big, like a lot of things in life.
You're gonna be able to start preloading Destiny 2 today, and it should be downloaded by September 2016. 600 gigabyte file.
Quite yes. Oh my god. You need a new hard drive for that. Jeez, just for Destiny 2.
Flynn Kramer says, "Do you think House of Wolves will suck?"
No, it's gonna be great.
I think
it's gonna be really, really good. I'm super excited about what they're doing in House of Wolves. Like I said, I am ready to jump back into this game when I find time to stop playing The Witcher 3, of course. But I am super excited, so I think it'll be awesome.
All right, so we got some answers about Destiny and The Witcher, but I think this is not a very cross sample for a survey, Robbie.
Everybody says Destiny.
Yeah, everybody says Destiny. Although Jay Diaz, The Witcher is only $53.99 for digital download, so you get a little discount if you digitally download it.
That's true. It actually is like 10% off. So there you go.
But Max in there, Destiny all week, all month, all year.
Oh, you guys, come on. Witcher 3, come on.
Sonic Halo fan 215. I'll be playing Mortal Kombat 10 and Destiny.
Oh.
False Prophet says Destiny this week. I'll be playing Witcher 3 when I'm done with the House of Wolves. That's pretty much my thought, too.
That's a good idea, actually, to go about it. Like, whenever you can get to it, definitely, because that game is going to be like the only thing you want to play at one time. Like, just sink a lot of time into it and get immersed in that world. So that's a good idea.
Narcus Skis, I think that's how you say that name, says House of Wolves. Can't afford Witcher 3, though it would still be House of Wolves.
Okay, I got the point now. We can just move on.
So the Jackson Sloan sent us a really nice comment, but I'm actually wondering about his name. Is that a take on Sly the Family Stone and the Jackson 5? I'm just wondering about that name.
The what and who now?
Sly
this
and
is
the
before
Family
my
Stone
generation.
And Jackson 5.
This is before my generation. I don't even know.
You don't know Jackson 5?
Oh, no, I know. Okay, yeah, I know Jackson 5, but the rest of that was, I don't know.
Do you think the tower in Destiny will ever be destroyed in the future by a new enemy? Yeah, I do. I think that would be one of the coolest DLCs ever.
That would be cool. Yeah,
we have to defend the tower again against a fallen onslaught. We lose, and we get cast off into space.
Yeah, and then if you win and you defend the fallen, like, it actually changes the course of the story in the game. I think that could be super cool, actually.
That would be cool, too. All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. What do you think, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of went through all the news. Obviously, so much exciting stuff coming this week. Like, I just want to pass away the time as fast as I can and get to Witcher 3 and House of Wolves. Like, I am so excited. I can't wait. Like, I can't wait.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get really drunk, sleep through tomorrow, wake up on Tuesday, and start playing House of Wolves.
Good plan.
Sounds solid to me.
Yeah, me too.